Alrighty, welcome back, race fans. Tonight we are here with the Ohio IndyCar League for the Indianapolis race number 5, presented by MaxSpeedTV. I am Joshua Medlock on the mic for you here tonight. Going to be calling the action here for the drivers that have showed up. We've got about 11 drivers here tonight for 103 laps. It's going to be a long race for these guys, and they're really going to have to be careful. They do get one reset here tonight, so that is going to help them throughout the race. If they do so happen to get bunched up and they get into a wreck and destroys their car, then they can get that reset done and get it back out there. But not, like I said, not very many drivers that have showed up here. So if they get all spread out and get pretty much far ahead of one another, then it's really going to make for a long race. Let's just hope they can, keep it clean, wind it down, and get this race in and be done with it. Glad to have everybody out there. I know I've got Arfke out there in chat. He's actually monitoring 2 chats tonight, so glad to have you out there, Arfke, monitoring the chat for us. And we got Dragon Zeron in chat here tonight. It looks like we've got about 8 viewers here. Glad everybody is out there, and hopefully you guys enjoy the race here. We're going to take a look at the point standings coming into tonight. Now, these guys only race once a month, so they have, 4 weeks to prepare for the next race. So, well, right now, the points coming into tonight are as followed. We've got Paul Crumright in first with 126 points. Now, I know Paul is not here tonight. I guess he's traveling or something's going on. But Paul, man, we know it's the weekend. We also know, tomorrow's Mother's Day. So we do got people traveling. But Paul is in first. David Leclerc, who is here tonight, he is on the track. He is in second, only 3 behind Paul. Ian is in third with 111 points, 12 back behind David. Ken Ackley in fourth. Ken is also here tonight with 106 points, 5 back. Mr. Doug Kennedy. Doug's having some weather, I guess, issues, and it's conflicting with his internet. But let's hope Doug can stay in here because he is currently 5th in points, right at 100, 6 back behind Ken. Jeff Murray is also here tonight. He is in 6th with 96 points, 4 back. Tony Rice is one of the other drivers that's not here tonight, or I haven't seen him. Now these guys have time to come in, so I'm not going to count him out just yet, but he is in 7th with 90 points. He is 6 back. Sergio Moresi in 8th, 83 points. He is 7 back behind Tony. Chris Seidenfaden is in 9th, 64 points. He's actually tied with Richard Shannon. And I'm not seeing Richard or, there he is. Yeah, I do see Rich Shannon up there. He is currently running 3rd, so he is here. So he is tied as well with Chris Seidenfaden at 64 points. Both of these gentlemen are 19 back behind Sergio Moresi. So that's the way the points are coming into this month's race here tonight. We've got about 5 minutes left here. Oh, excuse me, here in practice. And they've been out here for a little over an hour putting in the laps in. I know we've got weather all around us, here in the south. Rain in some locations and some severe storms in others. So everybody be safe out there. While we get into the spring-summer conditions, as I bring up the driver bar here, we are on Thomas Knopf's here, currently running in 10th here in practice, but the race has not started, so I will not count Thomas out by no means. Well, right now, Chad Petticourt does have the top spot here in practice. And they're really fighting the draft right now. These IR-18s really catch the draft of the other cars around them. So now they're going to have to be careful because you can bumper hook, get into somebody, and it will definitely upset the IR-18. It'll spin you or spin you into somebody. They do got one reset, like I said, but they don't want to use that reset early. They would really like to wait later on in the race if they have to. That way, if something was to happen, then they don't have that many laps left. But we're going to get about 3.5 minutes left. We're going to take a look at the pre-race analytics here coming in tonight. 77-degree, humidity of 1. We got a track temp, though, of 101, so it's going to be a little slick out there here tonight. 103 laps. They do get one fast repair. 257.5 miles here tonight they're going to be pulling. We've got a tire window. I really don't know what the tire window here is. That's just the tire window from the last race we did, so I imagine they can go, I would say probably around that 40, 50, 60 laps somewhere in the tires. Now, fuel, I don't think so, but they could. Now, we're going to be running a 70% fuel window or 70% fuel load, so if anybody can math out on what these cars get on gas mileage, that would be great. Throw it in chat there. That way I kind of know approximately what they're going to get. But as they wind down the practice here, that'll do away with the pre-race analytics here coming in too tonight. Now, right now, Chad is sitting on pit road. Looks like we've got David Leclerc out here, along with Ian as well. Both of these drivers are together. Raul Alvarez also out here. Ken Ackley and Pierce Moffitt out here as well. So these guys still putting in the practice laps all the way up until qualifying begins. So in the meantime, folks, we are going to step away here, play our national anthem. It is being played by Madison Rising. Please check them out at MadisonRising.com. They're very patriotic, and I actually sat down and actually listened to the national anthem that they, as they sung it. And let me tell you, when you sit down and listen to it, it's very powerful. You can tell that they really love America. So we're going to step away, play that real quick. Don't go anywhere. Qualifying will be underway when we come back.
We are the brave. We'll fight you in name. The name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave. The US of A. Oh, say, just that star spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the brave, and the
All right, back alive here on MaxSpeedTV. Great performance there by Madison Rising for the national anthem. Now they have put in their qualifying times are starting to roll in, is what I'm trying to say. Now David Leclerc has the top spot. Well, he did. Jeff Murray just took it away from him, but David Leclerc was first with a 40.054. And then Jeff Murray come along and grabbed it from him, and now David goes back and gets it. This is closed qualifying, so there's only one car out on the track. They can't see each other, but everybody can qualify at one time if they want to. So that's why you only see one car out there at a time. Now they get either 3 laps or 10 minutes, whichever comes first. And it looks like right now we have some more drivers. Ian also putting in his lap here in qualifying, as well as Ken Ackley and Raul Alvarez, all three of these gentlemen out here qualifying. Jacob Sayers and Doug Kennedy now just pulling off. So it looks like Thomas is the first one to complete his lap, currently running in third. David Leclerc in first, Jeff Murray in second. Looks like these drivers are done with their lap. Now we've got to wait on the number 75 here of Ian to see where he will go, as well as Ken Ackley, Jacob Sayers, and Doug Kennedy, and Raul Alvarez. And it looks like Rick Shannon may not be qualifying. I'm not sure what happened to Rick. Rich Shannon, I'm not sure what happened. Let's see here. Ian is going to go into 6th currently. Raul in 7th. Jacob Sayers now taking that 7th spot. Ian still in 6th. Ken Ackley now in 7th. Doug still back here in 10th. I think he's worried about his connection, which I don't blame Doug being, worried about the connection issues. So he may want to start in the back. I don't know. I don't know if this is by design or not. All right, there's Rich Shannon is out here going to be pulling some laps here. 217 miles per hour. Not entirely sure what that is in kilometers for all you metric people out there. I don't do metric. About 3 roughly 3.5 minutes left here in qualifying. 3 laps or 10 minutes, whichever is first. David Leclerc, though, is up top. Ken Ackley second, Jeff Murray third, Chad Petticord fourth, and Thomas Knopfs in fifth. Jacob Sayers currently sixth. Doug goes into seventh. Pierce Moffitt in eighth. Ian Habiot in ninth. Raul Alvarez currently 10th. Let's see where Rich puts that number 41 IR18 as he crosses the line. And it looks like that was just his first lap. So get an out lap and you get 3 laps. So we'll hang tight here on Rich in the number 41 to see where he will go. But right now it looks like David Leclerc, though, may hold on 5/100ths of a second ahead of Ken Ackley. Boy, these guys are fast. Now in the draft, they're going to be a lot quicker. And they're going to have to be careful. We're going to hang tight here. 224 miles an hour. Up to speed. Coming around turn number 4. Onto the front stretch is Rich Shannon. As he will currently go and be in 11th. All right, I think Rich is going to be done. So, all 11 drivers have qualified. We've got a minute and a half left to go. So I guess they're going to let the time run out here and let it advance on its own. But we'll get the official grid here in just about a minute. "40 seconds here in qualifying. Everybody's already qualified that's out here. David Leclerc is going to be your pole sitter. And Ken Ackley is going to start on the outside of him in row number 1. All right, 10 seconds left, and then we will get the official grid. All right, there it is. Checkered flag in the air. Everybody's going to be gridding up here. So let's see here. David Leclerc. All right. Well, this is the MaxSpeedTV starting grid here tonight. David Leclerc is going to grab the pole here tonight with a 40.008. Congratulations to David for getting the pole here tonight. Ken Ackley is going to start on the outside of him in that second spot. Jeff Murray in third. Chad Petticord in fourth. Thomas Knopfs in fifth. Jacob Sayers in that sixth position. Doug Kennedy in 7th, Pierce Moffitt in 8th, in 9th, Raul Alvarez in 10th, and Rich Shannon will round out the field here tonight in that 11th spot. All right, here we go. Well, let's see here if we can get a word in with our pole sitter tonight. How about that? David LeClaire, Josh for the booth. Got a copy, bud.
10-4, Josh. How are ya?
I'm doing all right, man. Grabbing the pole here tonight, but not a big field, but still grabbing the pole. You come into the night 3 points behind Paul. Paul not here tonight, so that's probably going to put you, going to be, you know, if everything works out right, you may take over points lead here tonight, but still a long race to go.
Yeah, hopefully it works out. Yeah, hopefully with no cautions, straight through, green pits, and away we go.
Yep, green all the way. Now, how many laps do you think you can run before y'all will have to pit for fuel?
My estimate's probably 20 laps, I'd say.
About 20 laps for fuel. Okay, so y'all's gonna have to pit quite a few times then.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of the race, so hopefully we all got our pit strategy together.
All right, David, well, good luck down there, bud, and congratulations on getting the pole here tonight.
Thanks, Josh.
Uh-huh. Well, all right. Well, as everybody gets wound down here. We'll see if we can get a word in with other people throughout the race. You know, if it stays green and goes green throughout the race, we will not be talking to anybody. That's just the way we do things here at MaxSpeedTV. Under cautions, we do try to interview at least one if we can. Well, the pace car is going to dive off here. There it goes. David LeClaire is going to be in control of the field as they are going to be coming to the line here to take the green flag. And here we go, folks. Boogity, boogity, boogity. We're racing at Indy. All right, as they still are oh, and we're wrecking already. What? No, Chad Petticourt and Thomas Knopf's already into each other and not even around the first lap. We are going to go back and take a look at what happened to these drivers here. We are still green flag, and this was on coming around, I believe, turn number 2. It might have been turn number 1, but Chad Petticourt and Thomas Knopf involved in that. And Chad did start on the outside here. I don't know what happened. Netcode might have caused that, or if they actually touched. And it was around, oh, that is where it happened right there. Thomas Knopf come up into Chad as they made the way, and he hit the rumble strips, and you don't want to do that right here. Coming around the turn and comes right up into Chad Petticourt, which sent them both hard into the wall. Thomas going to have heavy damage. He may have to use that reset here early on. Yes, he is coming down pit road, but David LeClaire will lead the lap here as we are back live here with this top row as they come screaming down turn number 2. And we have a new leader in Jacob Sayers to the inside of David LeClaire. Jacob, I know Jacob from another league, so I know him pretty well, and he is going to take point. Back off here and get a view of this. Can he lead a lap here tonight for his first race with the Ohio IndyCar League? I don't know if he's going to be able to. No, David LeClaire is going to lead that lap, but it was not by much. These drivers up here are still neck and neck. This is what I talk about, the IR18s. They draft really well. And if you can keep up with the driver in front of you, you're really going to be packed together. And they're still packed together here tonight. These guys still screaming. Jacob up front here as we come screaming down the front stretch. David LeClaire going to take it to the inside. Can he keep Jacob Sayers from leading a lap? He will. He will take that one as well. So David Leclerc has now led 4 laps here at the open of the race. Jacob goes high, and he's going to lose some positions, going all the way back to 3rd. Ken Ackley now looking to get the pass on Jacob Sayers. And right behind them, Doug Kennedy started 7th. He is currently running in 5th, holding strong. Rich Shannon up here in the 6th position. He started in the back of the field in 11th. That little spin out there by Chad Petticord and Thomas Knopf, though, really upset the field. And it looks like Ian is on pit road. What happened to Ian? Did anybody catch that? All right, David Leclerc still out front. Here comes Jacob Sayers back into the mix. He is back up to 2nd, started 6th. He is trying to run down David. I think David might now have found some competition. Whoa, a little bit of bumping going on here between Jacob and David. I don't think that was intentional. Just some hard racing. They got a little close there. And that's going to let David pull out just a little bit, but Jacob is going to be on the outside with Jeff Murray now still holding strong in 3rd. On that inside, he is trying to make his way up to 2nd, has not completed the pass yet on Jacob Sayers for 2nd. As they go side by side down through the front stretch here, who is going to be in that 2nd spot? It looks like Jacob is going to retake that for 2nd. Oh, Ken Ackley up high. Everything's fine with Mr. Ken Ackley. He's got Rich Shannon now behind him. Doug Kennedy in that yellow Ohio IndyCar machine. Spot that a mile away. But it looks like Chad Petticord has taken his car behind the wall early on here tonight. So we are now officially down to 10 drivers. And I believe we might have had another one as well take their car behind the wall, and Ian, not entirely sure. Oh, netcode! Oh no, who is that? I believe that was Jacob Sayers, and they are wrecking. Caution is out. And oh, what a big wreck up here. All right, well, we'll go back here and take a look and see what happened to Jacob, but there was a big one right up ahead of him. But right here, I believe it might have started with some net code. Yeah, we see David Leclerc in the 69. I don't think they touched, but we'll check it just to make sure. You know, Doug likes the way I call the races. He even said that. I just call it like I see it. Yeah, there was some serious net code there between David Leclerc and Jacob Sayers. Look at that. Now, they were probably a couple of feet apart, and it just really upset Jacob Sayers' car as he goes around. He tries to save it, comes back up on the track, collects Doug Kennedy, and Doug's going to go around. And I know there was another wreck ahead of him. I'm not sure what happened to the other drivers, but we're going to go back here and take a look. Let's see, that is the number 14, I believe it is, of Pierce Moffitt. Yes, it is. So we'll go back here and take a look at what happened to Pierce. Now, Doug come down, but Pierce just had nowhere to go. And right up ahead of him is where that big one happened. That was between Ken Ackley. Let's see here what happened to Ken. It looked like they might have touched here. Ken Ackley and the 23, I believe, of Jeff Murray. Yeah, it was Jeff Murray. Okay, so right here is where these two get into contact, and there was that was not net code there. They clipped him. He clipped him. That sent Jeff Murray around up and over and into the wall, so heavy damage by these guys. So we had a pretty much a caution and a wreck and a caution in one. All right, we're back live here. All right, here looks like Rich Shannon is going to be our leader here. Coming from 11th, David Leclerc in second. And net code happened, though, between him and Jacob. Raul Alvarez in third. Jeff Murray in fourth. Ken Ackley in fifth. Thomas Knopf's in sixth. Doug Kennedy in seventh. It looks like Jacob, Pierce, and Chad have taken their cars behind the wall. That is going to put Ian. He is currently 6 laps down. Here in one more lap, he will pick up a position on Chad. All right, Rich Shannon has led his first lap of the race here tonight. 3 drivers have taken their car behind the wall. All right, it's going to be single file restarts here. They do not do double file. And it looks like Ian is going to pick up a position on Chad. So in about 2 more laps, Ian will pick up another over Pierce Moffitt. So we got some drivers down there waving. I don't know who that is. I believe that might be Raul doing a little bit of waving there. Let's see here. Yep, that's the 69's David Leclerc and the 9 is Raul Alvarez. Maybe scrubbing some tires there. All right, well, they're getting geared down here. Rich Shannon going to lead them to the green flag. He is already on the loud pedal before the green flag flies. Good start there by Rich Shannon. He's now led 3 laps. David Leclerc going to go to the high side. And he will retake the lead. But here comes Raul. You cannot forget about Raul Alvarez because he's sneaky. He'll sneak right up on you, and he's going to go to the inside onto the front stretch with a head of steam. He's in the draft, but he's not in the draft. These other drivers, the 41 of Rich Shannon was high. They come screaming around turn number 2. Onto the back stretch, and now turn number 3 in the short chute. Raul gonna take over second place for the moment. Ken Ackley, though, has joined the festivities up here with the guys running up front. Currently running in 4th. He has caught the back end of Rich Shannon. Not entirely sure what's going on, if people's having some storm issues or what, but another driver, it looks like, has taken their IR-18 behind the wall, and Thomas. Ken Ackley in 4th, Jeff Murray in 5th. He is doing battle here. If we can get if we can figure out who that is down here with him. I believe that is Ian. Yeah, Ian, who is several laps down. He's still racing it pretty hard, though, with these guys. He is going to take it low here. Doug Kennedy right behind him in 6th. You just need to be careful here. Really not too much to talk about right now. I mean, we've got David Leclerc leading, Rich Shannon, Ken Ackley, and Raul Alvarez. Now, Raul has kind of pulled back a little bit. He is up here with the top 3. He's currently running in 4th. Jeff Murray, though, is on the lead lap. He is kind of leading the second group of cars here with Doug Kennedy and Ian. Yeah, we've only got 8 drivers out here. 8 drivers are left out of 11. And one of these drivers, Ian, is 6 laps down. Now, he is going to pick up another position there and go into 7th, taking it away from Thomas. So it'll be a solid 7th finish here for Ian, regardless of what happens. But back up front, the battle for first place is David, Rich, and Ken and Raul. We've got 83 laps still yet to go here tonight. Well, Rich Shannon going to take it to the outside here and try to pick up first. He's led 3 laps. Not going to be able to do it on that outside. They just need to wind down the laps here and then, battle it out here toward the end. Having 4 drivers already out of the race tonight, we haven't even hit lap 25, is really kind of put a damper on things. You don't see very many battles. You do see battles. I'm not saying you don't, but with the short field as it was, and net code and wrecking, it shortened it even more. Well, they're going to go side by side up here for the lead. Ken Ackley does have a view of this as we go cockpit here on Ken Ackley. Ken's going to take it to the inside. Hold on to it, Ken. There you go. Yeah, hitting them rumble strips there and really upset. Oh, we got a caution. Oh, no, Raul Alvarez. No. All right, well, let's go back here and take a look and see what happened to Raul Alvarez. All right. Now, Raul was running 4th. So let's see here what happened. All right, okay, right there. Kind of slowed him down, and whoa, that was a hard hit by 2 drivers. I want to say that might have been Ian. Yeah, Ian hitting hard. Not really having much to, nowhere to go. Right here, slows him down, doesn't know where he's going to go, and slams right into him. And that's going to send Jeff Murray flying as well. Oh, and hard into the wall, yeah. Gonna send Jeff Murray up into the wall. But Raul also gonna have some damage. And Ian, not sure if there was a little, well, what was going on there, but Ian got into Raul again right here. It might have been trying to get it all situated out. Yeah, just couldn't lock it down. And that'll bring out the caution again here tonight. So it looks like David Leclerc going to be the first one off of pit road. Rich Shannon in second. Ken Ackley in third. It looks like Doug Kennedy. No, Doug will be out first. Doug stayed out. So I think Doug will be first here once everything resets. Oh, he's going to come down pit road. So Doug did stay out. He may lead a lap here if he can get down there to the line before the leaders come back, which he will. Or did he? No, they're in that metal bowl. Or a plastic bowl. In a refrigerator at the very bottom. Yeah, that's where they're at. I'm sorry, everybody. I thought I had my mic muted. I guess I didn't. All right, well, David Leclerc has led 22 laps. Rich Shannon in second here. Started 11th. Let's see here. And I don't see Rich in TeamSpeak. Well, it looks like we have another driver that has taken his car behind the wall. Jeff Murray. All righty, folks. I had to go down there, and I had to talk to the league owner here. We got 4 drivers left out there. 4 drivers left out onto the track. What you see is going to be the race here tonight. We haven't even done 50 laps yet, let alone 30, and we've already got 7 drivers have taken their cars behind the wall, and now we're down to 4 with David Leclerc, Rich Shannon, Ken Ackley, and Mr. Doug Kennedy, the race the owner of Ohio IndyCar League. Well, that should be a good battle here up front as they are going to go back green flag here. And, you know, we're going to be doing a lot of cockpit views here, folks. We're going to be doing a lot of views here. I may not say much. You know, these guys have been racing strong, but when you only got 4 drivers left out there on the track, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. And, you know, I don't know what else I could do as a broadcaster. But look at Ken Ackley go. He is going to take point here. We've still got 74 laps to go when we've had 2 cautions here tonight. You know, it is what it is, folks. Now they still doing a battle up here with the 4 drivers we've got left. Let's see. We're gonna see here. We're gonna probably do a ride along. Yeah, as soon as I can talk, we'll do a ride along here with Doug Kennedy. Just to kind of give you guys an idea of what Indy's like. You can see the dirt there on the windshield, whatever you want to call it, the tear-off. Now Doug's holding on here into 4th. He is, you know, followed right behind Rick Shannon and Ken Ackley and David Leclerc. They're all up here together, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We rode along here with Doug. Now we're gonna ride along here with Rich Shannon. Now Rich is he's holding strong right here in third. You know, these guys are just trying to wind this thing down. I've never been to a NASCAR track in my 32 years. The closest track I have to me, well, there's really two of them. Texas and Kansas would be probably the closest two that I have close to me. I do, however, have a couple of dirt tracks around me. Tri-State Speedway, where Mark Martin and Rusty Wallace raced on dirt. That is in Oklahoma. And then we've got another one called Crawford County Speedway. It's another dirt track. It is located in Cedarville, Arkansas. And I've never been to a dirt race. Yeah, so a little bit of background on myself. But I do like calling races. They say if you ever go to a dirt race, you'll be hooked because, you know, just seeing them in person, even a NASCAR race, just seeing it in person is a lot different than watching it on TV. You know, you actually get to really hear the sound of the machines, the cars, trucks, whatever it is you're going to watch, and it's very, very intriguing. So we did a lap here with Rich. Now we're going to do a lap here with Ken. Alright, well, let's see here. Got some messages. For some reason my YouTube wasn't working properly here, but Alright, went to serve the black flag and looked up and hit the wall. This is the one we had. It was the second caution, I believe. They've only had two cautions, but they did have a wreck at the beginning that was not a caution. So I don't think that's a record of that many cars being taken out, but this is the fewest cars that I have ever broadcasted or stayed broadcasting here, with 4. And Doug just wanted me to, he wanted me to go ahead and continue and do it, and, kind of do an onboard and drivers and all that. So, now Ken, he is going to come back to third. Now Rich Shannon in second. David LeClaire still holding strong here in first, but still a battle here between all 4 drivers. Doug just holding strong. Let's see here. Yeah, they're missing a few racers. Usually they have a few that race, but one of them is not here. Well, several of them's not here. I know Paul's not here, and we're missing a few others. We've still got a whole handful of laps left to go. Now, Jacob, man, I know you from another league, bud. I know you're upset. I really do. But yeah, please, bud, watch the language. I know you're upset. I understand. I'm sure there's a lot of guys that are not, not still in the race here that are upset. I'm not happy myself, but Doug, he wanted me to continue and everything, and just finish, get this race done and over with. But I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't do this. It's hard because I enjoy calling the race. I really do. Yeah, you got to come from my perspective, but yeah, it's rough, man. It really is. But there's a lot of people upset. Now, what I seen the net code. We've had some of that tonight, and I'm not saying we haven't, because we have, because we've seen it. When you went to spin, that right there was net code from my perspective. I'm saying that from my perspective, because that's what I seen. What happened before then, I was just, I call the race like I see it. Oh, somebody into the wall. That is Rich Shannon. And that's no caution. It's single car. He got up there on the wall. But Jacob, man, it is what it is, bud. Yeah, some of them were bump and runs. Yeah, they were. I'm not going to say they wasn't, because they were. Hey, you can get mad at me all you want to. I'm just the broadcaster here. And right now, Rich Shannon, he's kind of back here into the field, mired back a ways. He is going to come down pit road. So that's going to leave the three drivers out there. 1, 2, 3, David, Ken, and Doug. And it looks like Rich is in his pit stall here. Now you guys had one reset, I believe. I don't know if anybody used it or not. Jacob, if you am I buying tacos tonight? I don't know. I may need something else other than tacos for sure. Well, Ken, though, he's going to stay out here, take over. He's led 7 laps. That's going to put David down pit road and Doug coming down pit road. Rich Shannon is going to be back out onto the racing surface. And it looks like Mr. Ken Ackley is now going to be coming down pit road after starting second, leading 7 laps. So we're going to have some 4-car green flag pit stops here tonight. Well, I'm going to put it to you this way. If we have another caution and we, more cars take it behind the wall, I will stop the stream, because I'm not going to call it. I wouldn't call it with 4 races, but, Doug wants me to, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. But if we get another caution, another car gets taken out, I will stop the stream, and then I'll talk to Doug, and we'll see what we can do and go from there. But that is outside of the broadcast. That's between me and Doug and MaxSpeedTV and all that. So, but really, right now, everybody's going to get all spread out after the pit stops. That's going to put David by himself with Ken Ackley and Doug Kennedy here together. Doug's going to make the pass there on Ken. Doug's going to go into second, and Ken's going to be in third. And Rich Shannon is going to be about 10 seconds, 10 and a half seconds back. Still on the lead lap. Well, we've got 53 laps still to go here tonight. And all of them spread out, all four of them. And it looks like we're going to have a battle though here for second between Ken and Doug. They're doing some swapping here. I'll get it out in a minute. Mr. Ken Ackley and Doug Kennedy. Now Doug's in the yellow car, Ken's in the blue and orange one there. You can always spot Doug because he's usually in a bright car. That way everybody sees the league owner come flying. That is all Dragon Zeron. The changing those to out, that is not, I don't even do that. I don't control the overlays. I cannot do that. So no, I won't be changing them to out because I can't do that. It's all picked up. The reason I know they're out is because I have what they call a timing screen here for ATVO. And when it goes gray for their name or black or whatever it is, I know they're completely out. They've exited the car. They've exited iRacing. They're not coming back in. They're done for the races. That's how we know when a driver is out. Also, we kind of know too when a driver, let's say, disconnects for whatever reason. If they have an admin or race control inside iRacing, watching it doing whatever they do, usually they're watching chat as well, kind of like what you guys are doing, asking questions. And they'll put in there driver disconnected due to whatever reason and has returned. Of course, we'll know that they returned because it'll light back up on the timing screen. But as far as it actually putting the word out when they're actually out of the race, it does not do that, or I have never seen it do that. It would be something to look into, though, because that would let everybody know that certain drivers are out. I can tell you, Jeff Murray, Raul Alvarez, Ian Thomas, Jacob, Pierce, and Chad, those are the drivers that are out. That's from 5th on back. So when you look up at the ticker there, from 5th place on back is the drivers that are out of the race. Well, we still got the battle for second here between Ken and Doug going on. Now, Rich is still about 9.5, almost 10 seconds back. He's kind of really by himself. He don't really have anybody to work with to get him up there to race, because he's the last one on the lead lap. He's the last driver out there. other than David Leclerc, Ken Ackley, and Doug Kennedy, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it'll be a top 4 for all these guys, regardless of what happens. Well, I don't know about a resurge. I know they're going to have to do something. The only times I really like watching NASCAR themselves on TV is super speedways. I am a huge super speedway fan. I love Talladega. I love Daytona. I like it when there's a big field, you know, good hard racing side by side, 3 wide. I just love it. Oh, and we've got another caution. What? Whoa, what happened? Somebody threw a caution, and I don't know who it was. All right, well, give me a minute to figure out what happened, because there's only 4 drivers out there, and I don't think anybody wrecked. So I'll have to figure out what happened here. It looks like Doug might be having some issues. Don't know what happened. Well, David Leclerc is going to catch up to the pace car. All right, folks, let me figure out what happened here, because I don't even know. All right, we figured it out, everybody. We know where the caution came from. There was a handful of water bottles back there around turn number 3. It looks like some fans got a little bit happy and threw some water bottles over the fence, so they had to throw the caution out. And, of course, that's going to get all 4 of the drivers there bumped up together. And they got to get the cleaners out there and get all those water bottles and stuff picked up. But that's going to bunch all 4 drivers back up together, and I'm sure David Leclerc might not be too happy, because he had a pretty good lead out there. Of course, everybody come down to pit road, and I think they got the water bottles cleaned up. A few people might have been ejected for throwing them over the fence, so they got them all cleared up. Now, 43 laps to go. We just got word from the NASCAR officials that they have been cleaned up, and a couple of people have been ejected from the stands. I got all cars down pit road. Of course, now you got everybody on the lead lap still. You got everybody, all 4 drivers bunched up together. 43 laps to go. And I've only got 2 drivers in TeamSpeak here, David Leclerc and Doug Kennedy. The other drivers are not in TeamSpeak that I see. But we still have 8 viewers here, so glad everybody's still sticking around. I know it's a little on the strenuous side. You know, we've got 4 drivers left out here, but it is what it is, and these guys are going to pack back up. Single file restart. I'm sure they're going to probably go double file before they even get to turn 2. Because you cannot pass on the inside line before the start-finish line. Now, you can pass on the outside, but you can't pass on the inside before the start-finish line. So I imagine what they're going to do is they're going to get, pretty close together, get in the draft of one another. And kind of make it a little bit more interesting, but of course those water bottles didn't help the situation. Doug Kennedy back here in that yellow car. Well, I'll get Doug down here real quick. And Doug Kennedy, Josh from the booth, man, got a copy?
Hello?
Yeah, Doug, got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir, Josh.
Yeah, well, 4 drivers still, left out here, but that one water bottles there thrown by some of the fans, causing a caution here is going to bunch all 4 of you back up together. Do you think you have something for the 3 drivers ahead of you?
Oh, I think so. I made some headway on them. I really just got to wait till they kind of goof a little bit. They're running pretty tight.
Yeah, they're running pretty close together. Well, the key thing is, Doug, you know it as well as I do, is to stay in the draft because these cars suck up real good.
Yeah, it's amazing, too, It's, the draft is running pretty good, When you're behind these guys, kind of have to be careful a little bit, but it's pretty smooth.
All right, Doug. Well, I will let you get back to it, man. I know they can see you coming in that bright yellow car.
Oh, yeah, I'm scaring them.
Yeah, just a little bit. All right, Doug. Good luck down there, bud.
Thanks, man.
That's Doug Kennedy. That is the owner of the Ohio IndyCar League. Figured I'd get a word in with him. I do not do interviews when it's green flag. I know a lot of people, well, why don't y'all do a green flag interview? I do not do that. And the reason behind that is because if I go to talk to somebody while they're under green and they wreck, it would be my fault. Disturbing them, busting their concentration. Yeah, I just don't do that. So, but here we go. They're going to get all bumper to bumper here, and they're going to go too wide here for a moment. I knew that was going to happen here. David Leclerc going to be leading. Ken Ackley fighting on that outside line. That opened the door for Rich Shannon to get to the inside, and he's going to get a twofer. He's going to go to the lead. Well, here comes Doug Kennedy in that bright yellow machine. We'll see if we can get on. Well, they keep moving on me, so I don't know. Whoa! All right, Rich, stay off of that that apron there. That really upset his car, and he's going to lose the draft here. It looks like of Doug Kennedy. Doug, though, he has now caught the draft. Or caught second, I should say. He's been in the draft. Yeah, sure, yeah, Dragon, they do, man. They need to concentrate while it's green, you know. I don't see a point doing it under green flag conditions, man. I just don't. I've had people ask me, well, will you do a green flag interview? No, I will not, and I will turn it down in a heartbeat because I don't want to do it. All right. Looks like David Leclerc and Ken Ackley going to go side by side into one. That's going to put David back out front with Ken going back to second. Ken has led 9 laps, though, here tonight. Doug Kennedy, though, still looking to lead his first laps of this race. No, NASCAR don't do it. They'll do yellows, and they'll talk to like the pit crew, you know, under green flag, but or you know, like the crew chief or whatever they are, the spotter, whatever the case may be. But as far as talking to the drivers, no, they don't do that under green flag conditions, or at least I've never seen it. You know, that you know, this is a sim here, and there's a big difference between a sim and real life. You know, on real life, you're dealing with a, you know, couple $1 million car, sponsors, all that. A simulator, you wreck a car, if you don't have a reset one week, there's always the next week. You get back in there and you do it again. You know, you're not dealing with, you know, $1 million and, you know, sponsors for the most part. Some do. Some have real sponsors. I'm not saying they don't, but some do. So I can see where they're coming from. Yeah, life and death. Yeah, for sure. You know, I wouldn't say we joke about it, because it's nothing to joke about when it comes to racing. It's a very, very dangerous sport. Even in NASCAR, with all the safety regulations they have now and in the changes that they've made, it's very, very dangerous. You know, oh, they're bumping and banging up here. David Leclerc is bumping and banging with Ken Ackley. Ken, though, he's going to have to go back to the high side. We got a little bumping going on here, but what I was saying is about the life and death thing is, you know, when somebody hits the wall here in iRacing really hard, you know, we say, you know, they're going to have to get checked out in the infield care center and all that. We know that they're okay. It's a simulation. But in real life, in NASCAR, when somebody hits the wall going 200 miles an hour in, you know, in an IndyCar case, you know, 220-something miles an hour, you're really concerned if they're going to be okay, because that's real life. That's not a sim. So, you know, big shout out to you know, the real life drivers out there who race dirt. You know, I'm not taking anything away from dirt, because that's dangerous too. You know, you turn wrong, it grabs the dirt, you go flipping, or you get into somebody, or somebody gets into you. It's very dangerous, but it's a fun sport to be in. I personally do not race in real life. Like I said, I've never even been to a real track, and they're doing a little bit of blocking up here. And Doug's got a bird's eye view of this. We're going to go cockpit here again with Doug, just to show you what Doug's looking at. Yeah, they still have people getting injured. Yes, they do. It's you know, every week, every day you hear somebody getting injured because of something. Now, you know, go-karts. I'll take it, for instance, go-karts. You know, go-karts may not go very fast, but when you get a lot of go-karts together and you start wrecking, it can cause some injuries. I think the most dangerous is probably motocross. I want to say would be probably the most dangerous. I could be wrong, but that's what I would say. Yeah, Fireman 21134. Yes, that's really concerning too. Yes, I totally agree. Glad you stopped by and decided to watch this. We've got 4 drivers. I'm just rambling on, talking about whatever. You ask a question in chat like Dragon's been doing, and I'll try my best to answer it to the best of my knowledge. I was doing a little ride along there with Doug Kennedy in that yellow car. This is 3 of the 4 drivers right here. Rich Shannon is he's still out here on the lead lap, still holding strong. He is just now making his way into 4. But Ken Ackley, David LeClaire, and Doug Kennedy all 1, 2, 3. And we've had a little bit of a battle going on here between David LeClaire and Ken Ackley for about the last 7, 8 laps. They've been kind of going nose to tail, and if they don't get something together and get it worked out, then we will have another caution. Let's hope we don't, but we could. Yeah, drag racing would be pretty dangerous. I would put motocross. Well, it would be motocross. Motorcycle racing, I would probably put that at probably the danger, the top one, up there with a drag racing, because those going from 0 to 400 miles an hour in 2 seconds. If something goes wrong with that engine, or the chute don't deploy, yeah, you're going to be in trouble. There's been many people killed in drag racing. I've seen several of them on YouTube, and I've even seen some that you would think somebody was getting seriously hurt or killed, and they walked out of it. I've even seen it in Indy. I've seen Indy cars wreck, and you would think, my golly, how do they survive? And they just walked out of it. And then I've seen others, unfortunate, were killed. One of them was that is well known to most of us is probably Dan Weldon. Everybody knows who Dan Weldon is and was in the Indy field, and even watching that wreck to this day, I still get the heebie-jeebies of it, because he unfortunately lost his life in an Indy car, and they made changes just like NASCAR did, and they're doing that every year. They're doing something to try to get these drivers as safe as possible. Yeah, that's true. It didn't look bad at all, but it was. Yeah, and I'm losing some frames here, and I don't know why. Yeah, I lost a little bit of frames there for a moment, folks. It got a little jumpy there. I don't know what happened. I've lost 340 frames. It just could be a hiccup in my internet doing its normal hiccupy things. David LeClaire back out front. Ken Ackley has pulled back just a little bit. There's about a half a second gap now between David and Ken. Doug Kennedy has caught the back bumper of Ken Ackley. And that could be by design. Ken may be going back there to help Doug catch up to him. Hopefully nobody decides to throw water bottles on the track again and cause another caution. Yeah, I know he was one of the test drivers, but I know after he did pass, they implemented a lot more than what he was testing at the time. I do know that he was one of the testers, I believe. in the what was it, the DW12 or it was something like that, and some other safety things. I don't know the full details. I just know that he was one of the drivers that tested it, and he was also unfortunately killed in an Indy car. And these things, man, they pack a punch for sure. Yeah, I think some tracks they should not be allowed to race the Indy cars at because of of what they are. Las Vegas being one of them, I don't think they should be, allowed to race there. I think Indy cars are meant for road courses and Indianapolis. This track where we're at here tonight. With the Ohio IndyCar League, I believe that this is they could race at Indianapolis pretty well because of what the Indy cars are. So I don't know. I mean, I have my own stickler, I guess, for the Indy car. Well, it looks like we're going to have some pit stops here. Doug Kennedy, David Leclerc, and Ken Ackley all coming down pit road. It looks like a Rich Shannon, however. He's going to stay out here. He was about to get ate up by the leaders, but he is going to be out here. Well, I think the Indy cars could do Talladega and Daytona, but they would really have to. They would have to slow them down, in my opinion. You know what they did with the Monster Energy Cup. They slowed them way down with the restrictor plates. They would have to do something with the with these cars, because I believe in these cars, if they're topping speeds here at Indy of 200 and something miles an hour. At Daytona and Talladega, if you put them on there, there's no telling what they would top out at. In the draft especially. And, if they're doing 270, 280 mile an hour, maybe close to 300, I'm not saying that's what they'll do, but if that's the case, what could happen in a situation like that? If somebody gets into a very serious wreck, 300 mile an hour, it's bad enough hitting it at 2. Fireman, I believe you are correct on that. I don't know who it was, but I believe you might be correct on that. The new things they got instead of the restrictor plate is pretty decent. I don't know exactly what they're called either, Dragon, but I do know that they are kind of like the restrictor plate. It slows the air down. It limits basically how fast they can go, like what they do in the Cup cars. Yeah, I don't know what they're called either. We can call them restrictor plates. We already know what they do. So, well, looks like Rich Shannon, he is going to be out front here. Now, RFK, I really appreciate that, bud, but I don't know how awesome the broadcast is. With only 4 drivers out here, it's not, just finding something to talk about is the hardest part. Not very many things to talk about when you only got 4 drivers left out here on the racetrack. That's why I've been really watching chat here, because you guys, keeping chat popping and, giving me something to talk about. That really helps out. We do have a battle here, though, between Doug Kennedy and Ken Ackley for second. So these two still going to be doing battle here. But we do have 10 viewers here tonight. I think we're averaging about in between 8 to 10, somewhere around in there. So glad everybody has stuck around for what I hoped would be a good-sized field. We had 11 start, and before lap 30, we were down to 4. Or was it lap 50? I don't know. Well, we're down to 4 drivers. Yeah, I'll try. Oh, we got another caution here. Oh, David Leclerc. What? All right, well, let's go see what happened to David. I am not sure. That might have been... what in the world did David Leclerc? What happened to him? It looks like he might have lost it. I'm not entirely sure. We wind it here. Rewind. And we'll see what happened. Alright, well, he's coming around to turn 2 here. And he might... Well, I don't know, but he blew, or he did stop on the track, so that brought out the caution. So, no, I'm not sure what happened, be honest with you, but that was David Leclerc. And that will put him at 1 lap down. Yeah, a little bit of wall hugging there. Just a little bit. Yeah, it confused me too. I don't know what in the world happened. And it could have very well been got tight and just got too far up, or something messed up on him. I don't know, he is in TeamSpeak. I could get him down here and have a chat with him to see kind of what happened, but yeah, he's got some heavy damage on that Indy car. He's going to have to stay out. He may be just trying to get his lap back. I don't know. I don't know what happened to David. He's led 57 laps here tonight. He's currently running in 4th. Well, let's see here if David can chat. I don't know if he'll want to or not. Hey, David, got a copy, bud? What happened?
I had a drunk, naked lady run out in front of me.
Oh.
Don't be distracted to anybody.
Oh, man. Well, it looks like you got some damage. Do you have a reset left?
Yeah, I got to reset. I'm going to swing in, and hopefully the powers to be will give me a lucky dog.
Ah, okay, all right. Yeah, you're kind of, well, it looks like you got your lap back, but everybody caught back up to you, so yeah, you'll go a lap down again. But well, we'll have to wait and see what the powers to be has in store, but at least you got a reset left. You can get back out there and, at least finish the 16 laps that are go here with, 4 drivers out there. It's got to be relatively boring for you guys.
Yeah, it was getting a little monotonous there, but I don't mind. I'm racing all the same.
All righty, David. Well, we'll let you get back to it, bud.
Thanks, pal.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you heard it from David Leclerc. Yeah, gotta keep it going. All right, well, we got 15 laps left to go. The only two drivers I can interview, folks, is David and Doug, because that's all who's in here. I don't have anybody else. So, well, I can't pull them all in here because I only have but two in TeamSpeak, and I really don't want to have them up here when I'm jibber jabbering about nothing for 15 laps. I mean, I know they're gonna try to go for the win here in the next 15 laps, so I really don't want to bother them, Arfkey. We're just gonna let them hang out and finish up the race, and I'll talk to whoever I can. I don't know exactly who's going to be in TeamSpeak or who's not, but I know there's another broadcast going on here too. I believe Rudy is over there. He is doing the Bonehead Racing Xfinity Series. And it looks like they may be almost done with that race. It looks like over here on MaxSpeedTV, Bonehead Racing, they've got about, according to this, probably about 13 or 14 laps to go, but Rudy Cummings doing that one here at the same time. Oh, okay, 16 laps. Yeah, I know, but it's a little far behind there, Arfkey, so I was just kind of going with what I would estimate. Well, we're down to 14 here, and it looks like David Leclerc did get his lap back. Looks like the powers to be allowed him to go ahead and come around to get his lap back. He is at full speed, so he is going to catch up to him, but he is going to be at the end of the line here, as it'll be single file restarts. All right. Hopefully they'll get it going again, and the pace car will dive off, and Rick Shannon is going to be on the loud pedal. We're going to be coming to 13 to go here. There has been a couple of race sponsors for Ohio IndyCar League, but as far as a full season sponsor, you would have to talk to Doug Kennedy about that one. I don't know. I do know that they had last year they had a few race sponsors that would sponsor a couple of the races, but as far as a full season sponsor, I don't remember. I don't believe so, but what tracks do I want NASCAR to race at, or just anybody in general? No, a little bit of A little bit of action going on here. Doug Kennedy, though, has found his way. He was in second, still fighting for second. He led one lap, so he got that. He got it. He got the lap led. For the Ohio IndyCar League, they don't get a bonus point for leading the lap. They don't get a bonus point for getting the pole. And, of course, point standings, depending on how big the field is, it starts with 33 or 32 possible points, maximum points that you can get. And no. Oh, save it. Good job, both by Doug and Ken. Ken especially. Now, Ken Ackley, though, is going to lose some ground, but that could have been bad for both Doug and Ken Ackley, as them two was doing battle and dang near caught each other's tire. I think they did touch. Can to go. Yeah, that was a good save by Ken. Up 10 laps remaining here. David Leclerc in second. He's now has Doug Kennedy to his inside. Rick still holding on. Rich, not Rick, Rich. Still holding on to first now with 9 to go, and they touch. Good save by David Leclerc. Gonna put Doug Kennedy into second. David almost lost it, but boy, what a save. Well, I grew up watching it with my dad, and I was when I got to watch it. Of course, Mark Martin, the number 6 Valvoline. Yeah, he's from the same state I'm from, Arkansas, and of course I was a big, and I'm still a huge Mark Martin fan. So Mark Martin, I love to watch him race. I guess just enjoying the racing. I think, a kid growing up, I enjoyed the wrecks more, not understanding at the time of how dangerous it was. But, I grew up and I got to understand more about it and understand that it's very dangerous, getting back to that conversation. And, whoa, they were really close at the line there. I think Rich might have led that, but barely. And now David's going to go back up front. But I think that's kind of how I really got into it. I don't watch it much anymore. Like I said, I watch more super speedways than anything. Now, I do like Michigan. Now, Michigan is another fun track. It acts like a super speedway, but it's not. I do think that they could turn Michigan into a super speedway, but then again, they would have to do the whole restrictor plate thing, and to me, doing a restrictor plates at Michigan would be just ridiculous. Yeah, they're freaking doing 200 and something miles an hour, but it's good racing. I like Michigan too. Daytona, Michigan, and Talladega are my 3 favorite tracks. Yeah, we've got 3 cars battling it out for the win. And right now for the lead, they're going to be coming to 5 to go here. Rich Shannon, Doug Kennedy, David Leclerc, 1, 2, 3. Ken Ackley, though, has fell 7.3 seconds back. He is not going to be able to catch back up to him. I don't believe something would have to happen before Ken would be able to get back up there. And if a caution was to come out now, they would probably have a 1-lap shootout. If they get the 4 to go and a caution was to come out, then that would be the end of the race. They would not go back green flag racing at that point. I do not like road courses. I will say that right now. I do not like road courses. I think road courses is like watching golf. To me, it's boring. I don't like golf either. All right, still a battle for first here. And David Leclerc and I going to go back to the inside, make the pass on Rich to go in first. Doug Kennedy, though, bird's eye view still with Doug, keeping the draft on him, keeping the pressure on Rich Shannon and David Leclerc. Harvey, who's gonna get the W in the first one? Oh man! Which is. Oh man, we don't know, but we're at 2 to go. We're going to have the white flag here when they cross the line. After the white flag, a caution will not fly. It'll be a race back to the line. I wonder if Doug can steal the win here. Is still putting the pressure on Rich and David. He is right there. David out front, but barely. Rich really putting the pressure as they come flying down the front stretch here. They're going to go 2 wide here at the line. White flag will be in the air here. 1 to go for the Ohio IndyCar League at Indianapolis. And we only have, like I said, 4 drivers left. 3 of them are battling it out for the win. I wonder if we're going to might see a little bump and run here. Oh, boy, Rich Shannon, he is going to try it. He is going to take it to the outside. Little bit of blocking going on, and I believe David Leclerc is going to win that. Doug Kennedy is going to come in and steal second away from Rich Shannon. Well, Rich Shannon is going to finish in third, but boy, that was a fun finish there. Well, all right, we will see who we can get down here for an interview here real quick. Give me a minute, folks. We'll be right back. Well, alrighty, back live here on MaxSpeedTV. Now, I have caught up with first and second place. Doug Kennedy in second, David Leclerc in first. Doug, I'm going to start with you here tonight. You know, it started out with 11 drivers, and it came down to 4 of you. But, you know, the top 4 drivers, the drivers that was left out here, you guys, you know, put on the best show you can. But talk about overall the racing out there and, you know, the green flag pit stops that you guys did to do to, you know, still try to keep it on the track.
Well, I think it was a blast. I think the cream of the crop of our league is out here tonight. I mean, it was fun. The pit stops were really an integral part of this thing. You know, it all seemed to be that we were on the same page as far as fuel, except for Rich. You know, Rich kind of pulled a quickie there at the end, and he pitted before us and almost got us. But it was a tough race because I mean, when everybody is as good as these guys, it's tough to move around.
Oh yeah, for sure it is. And David, you've raced with Doug quite often. Doug, the same for you, David. Y'all raced each other, uh, you know, quite often, so you know how each other races. But Doug, what was really the key point here tonight, other than the pit stops? Because we've seen, a lot of people racing side by side. What was you concerned?
Yeah, I mean that side by side is really tough here, especially at 200 miles an hour with only 4 or 5 guys. I mean, you can't blink. You've got to be on top of your game, and the arrow push you got to watch. Guys swerving back and forth, but David's tough. You know, David's a tough driver.
Oh, that's David. He is one heck of a driver as well. We were missing a few drivers tonight, but yeah, y'all still raced it. Did what y'all had to do to get the race in here tonight. Well, we're gonna go over here to the winner here tonight. Doug, thank you so much, bud. Thought shout out you want to give?
Yeah, I just want to thank all these guys for showing up throughout the year. I mean, it's been a real good first half here. The guys that show up every week really have a blast. We were just talking about it at one of the cautions about what a blast it is. I'm so proud of these guys for showing up. I just want to thank them all for coming out.
All right, Doug. Well, we'll see you. Well, hopefully next month, but we'll get into that conversation later on, man. Doug, go celebrate a hard-fought second here tonight, man.
Yeah, I slid one through at the end there, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms that brought us all into this world here. It's a big day for all of those moms tomorrow. So thanks.
Doug.
Thanks, Josh.
And not a problem, bud. Not a problem. Well, all right. Well, that'll bring us to our winner here tonight, David Leclerc. No surprise, really, but boy, it wasn't without a fight, David. Talk about it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, really, you only race the guys that are around you anyway, correct? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, to me, it was like a full field there around me all the time. So, yeah, it was. I was having a good time. I was having a good time passing and getting past and trying to keep it on the straight and narrow.
Well, what was the key point here for you tonight? Like I was talking to Doug there. We started with 11 drivers, and we had a wreck at the beginning, but there was no caution, and then all of a sudden it looked like people were getting into people. And what was the mindset coming into tonight?
Well, I was thinking since it was such a long race, I thought everybody would, kind of settle in. But there must have been some pretty good battles in the back. I don't know what was going on back there, but I was pretty fortunate there to get a lucky dog. That was pretty much the turning point for me because I would have been a lap behind without that. So that was my turning point for sure.
Yeah, it sure was. Being a lap down is difficult to get back without lucky dog or a wave around or whatever the case may be. But you are going to grab the win here tonight. That's going to put you in first. Paul was not here tonight, so that's going to put you in first position here in the point standings. I don't know exactly, what the points are going to lay out because of the size of the field here. I don't know how Doug does that, but do you have anything for the fans out there, that are left here watching, with the size of the field that was left?
I really appreciate them sticking by and watching it for sure. Uh, just hang tough, guys, because once we get some solid drivers here, and the league's only going to get bigger and better, and make for some really interesting racing. I'm kind of disappointed Paul wasn't here tonight. It would have made for would have made for a better race if he was around too. So, but anyway, I'd like to wish all the mothers out there, especially my mom. She's 82 and she did a great job raising 7 kids. And I'd like to
Wow.
wish her the best, and all the mothers out there. Wish them all the best.
Wow, 7 kids. Man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Well, Paul. Now I got Paul on my mind. Well, David, man, congratulations on the win here, bud. Hopefully we'll see y'all next month here back, at Ohio. I believe next month you guys are at Charlotte, if I'm correct, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, Doug did mention Charlotte, so
Okay.
I love Charlotte too. Charlotte's a good track.
All right. Well, we'll hope to see you there at Charlotte, but David, man, go celebrate, bud.
Thank you very much. Thanks again.
All right, well that'll do it here for the interviews, because I do not see Rich Shannon here. So I guess we will just go down the grid here for the MaxSpeedTV final lineup. David Leclerc going to grab the win here. Doug Kennedy going to be in a second. Rich Shannon in third. Ken Ackley fourth. Ian in 7th. What happened here? Let's go back to the live grid here. David, Rich, Ken Ackley, Paul Alvarez in 5th. Jeff Murray in 6th. Ian in 7th. Thomas Knopf in 8th, Jacob Sayers 9th, Pierce Moffitt in 10th, and Chad Petticord will finish in 11th. Well, that will wrap it up here for MaxSpeedTV and for the Ohio IndyCar League. Glad everybody that was left stayed put. We got integrated in the chat here tonight. Had a bunch of questions asked, and of course I did my rambling on as usual, but happy Mother's Day, everybody out there, all the mothers out there, and of course going to be the big day for a lot of people out there. But that'll do it here for MaxSpeedTV. So until next time, folks, stay safe and have a good night.